kind of help your company turn around and enter the new market. Sandeep, what do you think about the growth mindset?
So thanks, Pulkit. Thanks, Neeraj and Hindu. I think wish you all a very good morning. How's the Josh?
Hi, sir.
Good. So first of all, also thanks to Transformers and the entire leadership team, the team which coordinated with all of us panelists for this wonderful session and opportunity to participate. What I would also like to tell you something about myself is you all eat Subway, Starbucks, you go to Starbucks. So all that food comes from Jyoti International Foods. So that's about my company. So a brief about my company. Second is that I have a diverse experience. I qualified as a CA in '95. Worked almost last 27, 28 years across geographies of multiple industries, ranging from also I was a colleague of Pulkit in Honeywell, but he wasn't there at that time. So worked with Infosys in business, worked abroad as a CFO in the EU for 5 years with Crompton, and worked also with ExxonMobil and now with Jyoti. So I think all of you have hit the right buttons. In terms of growth is an outcome, and I believe everybody would agree for that. Now, when we talk about growth, it comes with a lot of risks, and in terms of meeting a lot of expectations from various stakeholders. So when we do that, I have to think about how as a CFO I need to manage this. So what I want to do is that I need to have a very strong framework by which I need to deliver growth. So that would come by differentiation. So differentiation should be real and should be real time. So, and for differentiation, I believe that with the experience I have had in multiple assignments, I feel people are very important, and it came out quite candidly in the exercise that we did. So the people that you work with, the people, your colleagues, all need to understand finance. They all deal with KPIs day in and day out. So I think those KPIs, so today a CFO doesn't look at only the financial number crunching or the reconciliations or the audits, etc., but he actually manages the business. Like a choir master manages the band and the playback, and your CEO or your business head is like a singer or a rock star who is seen on the front. But actually, we as CFOs need to manage the band. So we have to navigate across various functions, which ranges from sales, factory, credit control, we have marketing. Everybody has conflicting, I would say all goals are finally leading to the 4 objectives of order, revenue, EBIT and cash flow. But each of them have KPIs. So how we keep an eye on the KPIs and navigate those KPIs to achieve the forecast is I think what a CFO should actually think when he wants to prepare the organization for growth. That's my first take. Then we come to technology. I think everybody believes technology is a great lever, but it becomes a multiplier only when it simplifies and eases the pain for everybody working within the organization, with your vendors, with your customer. If you have a great software, but you cannot generate an invoice, which is very easy to read. And incidentally, I worked in one agency. The first task I did as a controller was to ensure that the invoice went out with a proper format and with the right fonts. So I think technology plays a big role. You have to anticipate changes in the future. I have been a very pioneering experience in terms of setting up usage of things like Zoom since 2011. So I first brought in GoToMeeting from Citrix in 2011 October. It helped us save a lot of cost as well as ease way of doing things, because the reason that I did it is because I faced a challenge where everybody was using the VC room, and once I used the VC room for a long time and somebody came in and said finance is a support function and should not use the VC room so much. So I said, fine, I'll fix this. So I looked around and I found this solution, and this worked very well for my company in terms of not only saving cost, but also making my company agile and faster and nimble in terms of responses and collaboration. So I think after technology, I think the next thing is the process definition. So when I say process definition, I think most of us believe that everybody knows what we want the organization to achieve. But if we cascade down, and since I work also from a bottoms-up approach, many of the project managers or the engineers or the people in the shop floor or your sales people, really do not understand finance jargon. When I make it very simple with an example, many of us think that the LCs that we open or the bank guarantees that we give, there will be 2 or 3 people working in the treasury office or in the CFO's function who are actually managing this. But what I did in some of my assignments is to go and do a risk education or go and do a process definition education. So many of the project managers in one of my organizations, I used to take a very easy to understand UCP. That time it was UCP 500. Now it's become UCP 600. So I should take those kind of classes, make them understand. So we were then getting very few LC discrepancies when we were actually negotiating with the banks. So I think we can transform this with the right measures of process definition and managing the risk. Then I think one most important thing, and I think most of the listed companies, CFOs, at least I follow Infosys, which is one of the bellwether stock, and I have not seen Infosys with a preamble statement or any large company stating that how we can change the customer experience in that year. It starts with their earnings, their order book, or their revenue guidance, and then a line or so about what's happening in the industry. But